welcomed by the inhabitants of the village of Bogušice in the Chamber of Memories on behalf of the Community Culture Center and Dorota Barczak.
German plane, and he was deep inside the ground. And when the people from the Eastern borderland came here, they discovered this treasure. Now I'm going to show you a movie. It's about my grandma.
A Jezus Maria, wojna to wojna. Nie daj Boże wojny. Nie daj Boże wojny. Kiedy był głód, taki głód był, sklepy wszystko pozamykane, w sklepach nie ma nic, żadnego towaru, bo wszystko idzie do wojska. A o te wróbelki.
In Olesznice during the Second World War, there was no concentration camp, but there was a large camp for forced laborers, and the workers of the camp were employed in the railway workshops, which was called Bertold line, the defense line. You see how the airport looked like. Lviv, the city nowadays in Ukraine, which was a Polish city. Dęblin, Krakow as well, Lublin and Radom. So all those cities were bombed by the planes taking off from Olesznice. Hear the sound level of this Soviet communistic propaganda film burning.
They were saying that being here for the first time since liquidation, they see how beautiful Chile was, because they don't remember this area being that green and all the wildflowers growing around, because they were eating the grass, as they both told me. But actually will to survive in many cases prevailed. As they say, those people who were losing hope were those who were ending the quickest, even being very well built and very strong still. Some executions took place in public. Prisoners who were executed like this were those who attempted an escape or who were reported having plans of an escape. But it was more like a lesson to the rest of the group, because these people were dressed up as clowns. There was an orchestra playing some silly, happy melodies. The other inmates sometimes were ordered to sing a song about the bird who returned to his nest. This monument was raised in the 50s. And actually it's one huge mass grave. There are urns with those remains still discovered in this original ash pit, and it's definitely not too much. For a long time, prisoners slept just on these wooden bottom parts without anything to put on it.
Doskoczyłem do niego i zadałem 3-4 ciosy, wkładając w nie całą siłę i chęć oddania.
During the Second World War, the Germans had issued over a dozen postcards depicting the landscapes of Auschwitz and areas around it, picturesque, charming views, second dark side. The views printed on them conceal injustice, exploitation and violence.
synagogue is one of, is part of this cooperation in terms of interreligious dialogue. It's a picture of the ruin from 1974, so you will see how it looks now.
And these books became extremely popular, especially in Wrocław, because it was also a part of discovering the city by local citizens, discovering the forgotten past. Of the Second World War, during the siege of Wrocław in 1945, Eberhard Mock was one of few people who decided to stay in Wrocław. He was not fighting with Soviets, but he was still working as a policeman. And the last investigation finished inside the building, which doesn't exist any longer, and which used to stay in the middle of this square. And that's the place where this large synagogue, the Oplers, or the new synagogue, used to stay. It was destroyed during the Kristallnacht in 1938.
In 1945, a completely destroyed German Breslau became Polish Wrocław, and we think that this factor is still important for the city. Our first aim was to capture in a form of recordings and descriptions the complex structure of the sonic environment of the city. We can hear this melody. It will be the unique archive recording from 1971. It's from the archive of the Polish radio.
The term sound walking, it is a practice that is organized around conscious listening, yes?
And we can enter inside. Welcome in National Forum of Music.
We are built upon memories. We are growing up, we are creating our lives based upon the fact that we can remember what happened to us when we were children, when we were young, when we were, and so on and so on. And I had this idea to collect sounding memories. Of course, I collected a lot of sound, and then I asked myself how I will give back those sounds to the people. And I had the idea to create a tunnel. Because for me, a tunnel is really some kind of symbol of something which is in between two worlds. You have the entrance, you have the exit, and then you have what is going on inside. And a tunnel is a, let's say, object or a situation which is really between two different worlds.
Czy zawodowe szkolnictwo w pełni zabezpiecza potrzeby gospodarki narodowej na wykwalifikowanych robotników? Zabezpiecza potrzeby gospodarki narodowej na wykwalifikowanych.
Okay, now it starts. Wait, this is the tramway. She's quiet. Sound start. It's still there. She's still there. Sometimes she doesn't. Thank you.